Yeah, that's my love. She hides away like a ghost. Ooh, but she knows that we'll be the same.
Hello to whoever's watching this. Today's video is an idea that I've had for a while now. I wanted to reorganize my bookshelves and talk a little bit about my books, since I've only recently gotten back into the habit of reading and I'm feeling inspired again.
De se dire des mots doux, des petits riens du tout.
As you can see, I don't have like a ton of books. I only have 3 shelves and a small bookcase, but I still like to decorate them and keep the books sorted in a way that makes sense and also looks pleasing.
Les passants dans la rue nous envient. C'est si bon de goûter dans ses yeux un espoir merveilleux.
Firstly, as you can see, I'm sorting them out differently since I didn't really like the previous layout, and then I'm going to pick some books that I want to donate. So after sorting everything out, I'm going to give you a tour and talk a little bit about the books that I've read recently. So this is it. Now I'm gonna give you a closer look. So in this section, I've decided to put the teen, science fiction and fantasy books, some of them. So we start with the Hunger Games, Divergent, The 100, which I have not read, to be honest. This is a Greek book that I read when I was a teenager and I loved it. These 3 are Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. I've only read the 2 books. Then we have Red Queen, which will actually be in my recommendations for later. Then we have 2 Star Wars inspired books. I only read like this one, which, to be honest, I stole it from the school library when I was like on 12th grade or something. I remember I really liked it. I don't really remember what it's about, but it's Star Wars, so it's gotta be good. Then we have the Rogue One book, which I have not read yet. I want to read it because I loved Rogue One. It was one of my favorite Star Wars movies, so I really want to read it. Quick disclaimer, I was in a huge book slump, like for at least 2 years, and I didn't read like almost at all, but now I'm back. And that's why I've decided to do this, to like get me back on track and inspired to read again. And then we have The Vampire Diaries along with Beastly, the book. I read Beastly, I haven't read this one. And then we have a tiny John Green section One of them is Paper Towns, the other one is The Fault in Our Stars. Yeah, I just have it in Spanish. Then we have this one, which I'm also gonna talk about later. We have this, which, if I'm not mistaken, the original title is The Selection. I have it in Greek. I haven't read it yet. Maybe I will. And lastly, we have The Host by Stephanie Meyer, translated to Greek as well. And I was reading this a while ago, but I stopped because, as I said, I didn't feel like reading for a long time. But anyway, moving on to the second shelf. So I have the Lord of the Rings books, which belonged to my father, and you can tell they've been read a couple of times. Then I have The Hobbit, which I also stole from my school library when I was in high school, and The Hobbit in Greek, which this is the only version that I've read, actually. Oh, and from The Lord of the Rings, I've only read like The Fellowship of the Rings. I just have this tendency to leave the book series and not finish them. It's really not good. Anyway, then I have the first Game of Thrones book, which I have not read, and then I have this one called Clash of Kings, which, if I'm right, I think it's like 4th season. I don't know if it's the second book or like one further on. Then we have my favorite of all, Harry Potter books in English, and a few extra Harry Potter books. As you can see, each one of them is from a different edition. It's not coherent at all, but I don't care. I love each one of them. This is like the pocket version of the Philosopher's Stone, I think. Then this is an old version of the Chamber of Secrets. This is a newer version with this really nice illustrations. Then the Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix. This like alternative sort of version of Half-Blood Prince. I can't get it out. Anyway, I really like it. And the Deathly Hallows, which is, again, I think is the US version, this one. And then we have the Tales of Beedle the Bard. I loved this tiny collection of fairy tales by J.K. Rowling. I just loved it. Then we have the Script of the Cursed Child, which I watched live at the Palace Theatre in London, like back in 2017. It was a great experience. I mean, the plot was weird, but I loved it because it was Harry Potter. And then we have the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I think it's a script from the movie in Greek. Someone gifted this to me, and I have not read it, but I don't think I will. I mean, it's just a script from a movie. I just like the cover, and I like having it. Yeah, okay. That's it for the second shelf. Oh, and I have these Funko Pop, which is Luna, and these Every Flavor beans, which are like, they have expired, so I would not dare taste them, you know, but I like the packaging, so I kept it. And of course, the Elder Wand. This is from like, I think AliExpress or something, but it's really cool, you know, it's really like the original, I think. So on the third shelf, I have, well, I'll show you. Here we have a few Greek books. They are like Greek dramas, novels by a few Greek authors. These two are like really famous here. Yeah, they're not like the best in terms of quality, but I don't know, I just like some of their books, so it's like a guilty pleasure. Anyway, and then we have this one, which I have not read. It's in Greek, as you can see. It's about like time traveling, and I really love everything that's like time travel related. As you can see, I have a Marty figure from Back to the Future. So yeah, I just love anything to do with time traveling. Anyway, so I have this porcelain figure, which is so cute, but her leg is broken. I have this book, which I will also talk about later. Then we have Jojo Moyes, Me Before You and After You. I've only read this one. I started this one, but didn't finish it. I don't remember why. Then we have Brooklyn. You might have seen the movie with Saoirse Ronan, if I'm pronouncing her name right. But this one's like a... Oh, I'm gonna drop them. This is like a period drama about a girl who's from Ireland and goes to find a better life in the States. I don't remember exactly, but I know both the movie and the book are great. Lately, I've been getting really into like the whole young adult drama novels, as you can see. Anyway, then we have another Greek, I mean, it's not Greek, it's Rosamund Pilcher, a British writer that I really like, and my mother really likes her too. I have some of her books in English, but I think my mother has them in another room. Anyway, so this is like translated. It's called The End of Summer. Then I have a book in Spanish, it's written by my grandmother. I read it when I was like a teenager. It's really fun. It's like a small adventure about two teenagers trying to escape from their homes or something like that. They're like runaways, or one of them is a runaway. Her name's Carla. Anyways, her debut novel, I think, and I think it's really fun. Then I have Effortless, which is the sequel to Thoughtless. This is like sort of 50 Shades of Grey inspired, but I have not read 50 Shades of Grey, and I don't think I will ever read it. But this one was actually okay, you know, it was fun to read. Anyway, then we have a few classics. We have The Catcher in the Rye, which I was forced to read in high school. Then we have an Agatha Christie novel that I read recently. It's in Greek. I think it's The Man in the Brown Suit. Then we have, oh my god, we have Breakfast at Tiffany's, which I have not read yet. And this is like my favorite edition, I think. Oh my god, everything's gonna fall. So this is a very beautiful edition of Little Women. And I read it when I was little. Not this edition, but like the novel. And it's one of my favorites. I've seen all the movies and all. Last but not least, I have this bookcase. Anyway, it's really small, as you can see, but I do have a few more stuff in here. Starting here, I have some comic books and more. Like, these are some Star Wars comic books from Marvel. These are some comic books that I had when I was little. I love them. This series called Witch. I was a big fan. Then we have some music. Oh wait, I forgot this one. It's like a drawing book. I was obsessed with this one when I was little. I just loved drawing fairies. They're my favorite thing in the world. And we have a few like sheet music from Lord of the Rings, Cinderella, like the 2015 version, and some movie sheet music hits with a lot of music from a lot of movies, because I play the piano. Yeah, these are for the piano. And then we have this small shelf with 3 Harry Potter books. These are the Greek versions of Philosopher's Stone, Half-Blood Prince, and the Deathly Hallows. We have a Ginny Weasley Funko Pop, and this book that I got from the Warner Brothers studio when I went 2 years ago, inspired from Honeydukes, the sweet shop from Harry Potter. I have not like really seen exactly what's in it, but I just loved the cover. I was like, if I'm gonna get something from here, because it was really expensive, you know, I'm gonna get this because this is very pretty. And here's just a bit of storage space for stuff, and a few more art books and music books. This is actually sheet music for guitar, I think, with Queen songs. I love Queen. They're my absolute favorite band. And then we have this beautiful illustrated book on Freddie Mercury's life. I'm gonna show you because it's really nice. Look at this. Freddie Mercury, una biografía. It's in Spanish. It has like beautiful illustrations. I think they gifted it to me right around the time when I was like really obsessed with Queen, when like the biopic movie came out. Yeah, it's really pretty. And that's it with the tour. Now I'm gonna tell you a bit about a few books that I've been reading lately. First of all, I finished reading this about like 2 weeks ago. I devoured it. It was like the first book that I finished after months. I had been like in a huge book slump. I hadn't read at all, and then I found this and I looked at the cover and I was like, wow, this looks nice. And it did not disappoint. So if you didn't know, it's about like this girl called Evangeline Fox, who has pink hair, and she strikes a deal with one of the Fates, the Prince of Hearts. His name is Jax, because she wants to stop the wedding of her beloved, I think his name is Luke. She wants to stop his wedding because he's going to marry someone else, And so she makes a deal with a fate, but she ends up regretting it because the fate's like really mean and stuff. But a lot of things happen in this book, and it's like relatively new. I think it came out like this summer or something. And I'm really anticipating, you know, looking forward to the sequel, which is coming out in September, I think. So right after I finished Once Upon a Broken Heart, I bought this book called Under a Greek Moon. I love anything related to the Greek summer. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, I'm gonna read it, even if it's not like really accurate, you know, regarding like Greece. And it was not. I mean, there were a few things that I was like, oh my god, this author could have researched like a lot better when she was writing a book about another country. If you disregard that, like the details are not really accurate about Greece, this book was really easy to read, really fun. It was like a classic young adult novel about a woman who's like a Hollywood star, and she met a guy back in the day in a Greek island, and she fell in love, and now she wants to go back and see him again and whatever. But a lot of things happen in between, so yeah, it's like a drama, but it's perfect for like reading something escapist. So yeah. And another book that I finished reading just like 2 days ago is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. This one is like old, I mean from like a few years back, and this was my second time reading it. But the first time I didn't really pay that much attention to it. This time I like finished it in a week, and I was like, wow, this is like the most fast-paced book that I've read. I think it's like straight to the point. It's like a movie basically, where a lot of things happen at once and you don't get bored of it. It's got a great plot, like typical Hunger Games type of story. And yeah, this is the last book that I read. Now I'm reading the sequel, which is called Glass Sword. Let me show you. So this is the sequel, Glass Sword. I really love the cover art. It's like shiny. I'm like on page 100 or something, so relatively at the beginning, but I really like it. I hope to finish it in a week too. So then I can move on to more books, because I've like ordered like a couple of new books that I really want to read, and I'll show you when they arrive.